What up this morning? A girl taking her dude on a picnic, and you know, I figured I come live. That's when everybody be used to it, it seems like. But yeah, what up, man? Let me tell y'all something this morning. So, I got up this morning, and I seen a video about this picnic, dude on a picnic, right? So, in a post that I seen, not just one, like my man posted it, but I seen a couple of them today, right? So, this is what I noticed. When I seen that video, it instantly, it was something that, yeah, good morning. It's something, and when I seen the video, I had to speak on it. And not out of being rude, because everybody out in understanding and just mental, right? So first thing, I watched the video, because first I wanted to watch it. I watched the video, right? And when I watched the video, I watched it, and I seen her, she blindfolded him, she took him to the thing, right? She took the thing off his head, he was surprised. He was looking like, oh shit, like he didn't even expect it. I'm sorry, y'all, people calling my shit. So I watching the video, she take him out and she's surprised, she got him blindfolded. She take the blindfold off his head, cause this shit bothered me. She took the, yeah, cause people was calling my phone. She took the blindfold off his head, and then he was surprised. After that, you know what I'm saying, it kind of showed chopped pieces. He was inside the joint, right? But when I watched it, like, dude, it was tears coming out his eyes, like he was surprised about it, right? So before I could watch the video, you know, a lot of the posts, a lot of people felt like, you know, this was a bit too much for a woman to be doing for a man, right? And then I watched it. I mean, he genuinely appreciated it. When you look at the video, I seen tears in his eyes. He was hugging her, right? And then I seen how, like, a lot of men, a lot of us as men, I seen men posting like, yo, you know, and even my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, not knocking them, because we all got a right to our opinions, but I'm thinking, I'm only speaking spiritually. When he was like, you know, I'm down for affection, which is true, but I think it's a bit much. See, let me step outside this box. As black men, we have been made to feel, we have started to look at the world through the eyes of our women, who they look at us through the eyes of our oppressors, right? Meaning that our women look at us and have become, respectfully, because of society, it's about a financial thing, right? Financial structure and money is opposite of nature, right? Because that's not nature's role to make you bring money. A relationship is built on what we're willing to build together. We don't live in that society. But when as men, when we go public and unconsciously we say, oh, this is a bit too much, then what we telling the rest of that we're okaying black women's abuse on black men, right? Because in my opinion, when I see this video and when people think that this is too much, I say, this is why you're single. I say that this is why you're not married, and probably why, respectfully, the reason why a lot of people will die alone, right? Because it's something that our community don't understand, right? So, and what I say this, and what I mean by that statement is, if you a man and your woman ain't never did nothing like that for you, you with the wrong person. You feel me? See, as men, and when I say we look at the world through the eyes of our women, we have been programmed that way. See, because since we was little boys, our mama, our girlfriends, our right, it gets to the point where we've been judged about what we got. My fault, y'all. We've been judged about what we got in our pockets, right? So as we grow up, we start feeling that way internally about what we got in our pockets. So because we can't chill around this lady if our money ain't right, because then she gonna go fuck with somebody else who do. Our baby mothers don't want to fuck with us, because if we can't pay child support to get this money, then we not men. We gonna get talked about, like, right? So with that creates a mindset in men so they only feel like men. And it's crazy because I sit around, and it's not just my home, I'm talking about men, because there's no shot to my homeboys or nothing. But just men, I sit around a bunch of men that I know for a fact only feel like, my phone keep breaking, y'all. Let me move. Let me move out this way of this damn Wi-Fi. Let me my fault, this should fix the pride to cut my Wi-Fi. I kept jumping back and forth. So what I seen was, and I apologize for the breakups, y'all. My only point is that I can tell that in our community, this is why people single and don't get it, right? First of all, most of the people in America walk around here on some bullshit, because the people that's been together for 20, 30 years or whatever, they've been together this long, because when most people break up over shit and they go their separate ways, but the reason why is because both partners wasn't genuine, or one of the partners wasn't genuine. I know for a fact that my people don't know what the fuck love is from watching this post. That's why we so confused and so fucked up mentally, right? And I say it again, as a man, if your woman ain't never did nothing like that for you, you shouldn't fuck with her. But nobody talk about that shit. It's okay as a man. See, if that would have been reversed, if as a man we would have took one blind for her, and we would have brought in some shit like a tent that looked like a castle, and we had everything out for her, shit would have been dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and Rick, I get what you saying. So it would have been dope. But on a psychological level, when we say that this a bit much, we're okaying women to, when women see that post, they're gonna look at it, they're gonna say, shit, he right. And even a man said it. Like, that's the part that got me. Like, if your woman ain't never did, if I'm talking about as men, if your women don't do shit like that for you, don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And no, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying spiritually, when it came across to me, it was saying like, you understand how the world gonna look at it. I know how you meant it, but on a meaning a bit much, meaning that it'll feel like a bit much, but it's not. Like, if a woman does that, if he did it for her, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They're gonna see her a romantic man. But it is true that I started to realize in the last 10 years that 90% of all men walking planet Earth, we only feel like men when we got money in our pocket. We only feel like men when we stable, and we only feel like men when we can do the things that women made us feel like we want men about. And that's the deeper thing, right? When I sit around, I say, as a man, when I'm broke, I'm still a man. I got the same energy I got when I'm broke, and even if I got money, I'm gonna keep that energy, because regardless of the circumstances, I was born a man. That's who I am. My money doesn't make me a man or not a man, but I live in a society that picked it. And this is why I say about reading. And behold the pale horse, the point he made was about how by creating a financial society is opposite of nature. And once finance is introduced, the woman is going to go against nature. And the book says the proof of this is women feeding their kids first, and right? Because that's against nature, right? But we don't read books. People got killed for having this book back in the day. For years. You got caught with this book, anybody, you get killed for it. But it's the society. So when we see this and we see a woman going all out for a man, that's what it's supposed to be. Technically, a woman is supposed to, what she's doing, that's what a woman is supposed to do, because that energy is what's going to attract the man to want to be with her. Look, every woman got a vagina, every woman got something. Not, they all only got the same asses, but they all got vaginas and they all got mouths. So it ain't no difference. So we can go pick up women with every woman on planet, every real woman got those, even some men today. You feel me? So we can get that anywhere. So what's the difference between a wife and a girlfriend? They all got the same bodies. They still women. It's the ones that's willing to do shit like that. So that's why it's that. So when we say it's a bit much, the women gonna say, you see the comments, oh, he wants to be treated like a princess, right? So unconsciously, even though that ain't your point, as a man, when you said that, the women took it as an open door policy to be able to, like, oh, look at him getting treated like a princess, because of society, they want to be treated. And I'm keeping funky. It's okay if we treat them like that, because they supposed to be spoiled. And regardless of their attitude, their mouth, their nature, as men, if we want to be around them, because it's a million niggas that'll do it that you want, that we need to spoil them. And that's why half of the women and half of the men on the earth ain't shit. At the end of the day, it ain't about no struggle. Motherfuckers get together and then shit go wrong and then they break up. They break up because somebody in there, if not both, wasn't in the right intent, right? Because that's the difference, right? Women everywhere. But what separates the woman who you choose as a wife from the other women that you dated or the other women? It has to be the things they did. So that's why I was saying that when I seen that video spiritually, I respect everybody's opinion, but I can't lie and say that shit. I see men all the time. Yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Niggas say, I'm a man, I got my own, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but nature designed man and woman to be together. But because of all of the fucked up mindsets of our people and everything we've been through, we take pride because we have to. Like, okay, I break up with my peoples, or I'm by myself and I go out in the world, I gotta provide for myself. You gotta have that self-esteem and self-pride to build yourself to get up there. But we're not supposed to use that self-pride to attack the people who are working together. Because see, if you single and you independent, you don't know nothing about a couple together. See, it's a different lifestyle. And that's why a lot of times you watch TV, people are in relationships but living single lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. You know what I mean? A man, that's why as men, a lot of men, the men that's successful on a lot of shit that live longer because of what's going on behind them. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen this post, it always let me know, like him getting treated, because she spoiled him and treating him like a princess. That's why I said that's immature. You feel me? But it speaks on a mindset, and that's why people be alone. But I'm just saying that, remember, whether if you male or female, I hope that shit bother y'all. If you take care of yourself and you do that, that's good. But so did every other nigga that before they got married, they had to survive on their fucking own. So the fact that we take pride in doing that shit ourselves, that's cool. But the highest form of life is when two become one. Not when one does for one. Because one does for one because he or she has to, because they can't find a companion. Not because you better because we dolo, I did, right? That's why motherfuckers, that's the reason for fallouts. Niggas will fall out. Oh, I do this, but you got help. That's none of your business. Go get some help. You feel me? So these are the things that are hurting us. And when I say that as men, we look at the world through the lens of women. When we start, because when we say, yo, when a nigga say like, yo, I did this shit, da 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 da, I got this, da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? That's you. Most of the niggas I know feel like men because of their pockets. If I take everything out your motherfucking pockets and make y'all walk around for 2 years, most of the men, not even that I know, I'm just talking about men in general. If we take the men that's successful today and take everything they got out their pockets and make them go back around their women and their family, they won't feel like men. See, these are deep conversations. See, when we got the money and we can do, because we know as men that we are good men, and there's no shot at men, because a lot of men that's struggling to come up, it's not just you, it's about society, it's about the choices. We focused on the music, trying to be gangsters and shit, so by the time we get older, we can't even get decent jobs, half of us. You know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of men who ain't got it, but when they get it, they the first to do everything for the whole family and shit. So I'm not attacking men. I'm saying that I understand spiritually, just like women fake nails, fake hair, that as men, most of us don't feel like men unless we got money to do for our children or do for our women, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how we've been programmed. You know what I'm saying? But the true going to get it man is the man that's going to get up out here. And when we talk about men, the reason why our ancestors were so successful, because it wasn't about, you know what I'm saying, let's say you going to work, that ain't shit. Respectfully. Niggas had to get up. They ain't had no job. That's not nature. They got up and niggas was out here hunting, building shit. They all had to hunt to get their food or do whatever they did, but they all was building shit. They was judged by what they created. They was judged by what they offered the world, what they learned, what they built, what their civilizations offered, what the group had. See, the black society can never be shit because we don't understand marriage or relationship and the aspect of marriage, the teamwork. If we understood marriage, then we understand family. Or if we understood a relationship, because if we can't understand two working together, how the fuck we gonna understand 4, 6, 8, 10, right? Because 1 + 1 is 2, as we say, right? But that 1 and 1, when they make a baby, that's 3. If these two can't get together, this third gonna be unbalanced, and that's what's going on in the world. But if these two can't get it together, how the fuck mama, daddy gonna talk to this one? Because if you feel me, that's the goal. The problem is that we forgot that this shit is about yin and yang. We forgot that the goal of life is about the balance of both, man and woman, the feminine and masculine energy, not about super masculine or super feminine. An independent nigga just as bad as an independent woman, my nigga. Right? But when I see stuff, that girl took her nigga, blindfolded him, took him out there. There's nothing wrong with that. And I keep saying it over and over again. As men, if you got a baby mama or girlfriend and she ain't never did shit like that for you, you been played, niggas. You been played. And that's why you don't understand. See, the issue is men, and women do it too, but as men, we go after the girls that our eyes like. Not after the women that really fuck with us, right? We go after the girls, right, that look good to get all the attention. That's why they treat us that fucked up way, because they at work. But you ain't gonna do it, another nigga will, right? But there's an illusion. So I tell people, judge all the time. Half of people will never know what it's like, because why? We don't know how to even, look, we looking at this as something weird. That's her business. If she want to spoil her nigga, that nigga was crying. And people up there like, yeah, I agree, bro. That's a bit too much. But what that girl just told you was, yeah, nigga, I feel you. That's why you my favorite cousin, because niggas tripping if they think we gonna do that shit. And that's why this shit failing. Go to the fucking other countries. When they be talking about these women are miserable, go to them countries for real. And these women over there, they ain't as miserable as you think, but they over there doing shit. When Nipsey went to Eritrea, they was washing his feet and shit. He said that changed his dynamic of how he looked at women in the world. But in America, half of the men can't even get that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of men that's grown that a woman ain't never even massaged their feet before. Not being funny, because as men, we don't even be wanting that shit, because that's how we was raised. You know what I'm saying? But today, women want a submissive nigga. And that's the issue. The black man is the only man on planet Earth that everybody wants submitted, because niggas are scared of him. You know what I'm saying? And I be telling all the women, I respect y'all like hell. But women, I know, listen, hundreds of women hit my inbox. They say, they be from 60 to damn 20. And they be like, boy, you intimidate me. Because you know, with my mind, that I'm not your servant. You feel me? You know at the end of the day that you can't make me you can't play mind games with me like how you do with the rest of these niggas. See, women intelligent. So it's not the fact that it can't be done, but the fact of the matter today is that the black woman wants the black man to submit, because even she wants to feel better than him so that she feels important. In the book Behold the Pale Horse, he said, yo, we beat nature. When we first met them, she clung to her man for dear life like he was God. This is a book. They said we beat nature. When we first met them, talking about the black man and the black woman, she clung to him as if he was her God. And we reversed nature. And now she clings to the child and to us. You feel me? So remember this at the end of the day. We take pride in one, and I'm not against it, but one, we take pride in one because we are a broken culture. If you take two and you cut it in half, you got 2 ones. You got 1 and 1. And we took that, we got a broken ass culture since slavery, and now we take pride in one. I'm an independent woman. I don't need no nigga. I got my own. Yeah. The goal was for us to be 2. That's why we failing. Right? A girl said the other day on Instagram, she was saying, she was like, a nigga walked up on her and said something to her and was like, yo, y'all happy? And she was like, I'm married or whatever. The nigga was like, well, tell me this, are you happy? And she was like, no, but what the fuck happiness got to do with marriage? And that was deep because at the end of the day, it's about teamwork, compromise, understanding. Right? But no, and I'm only talking spiritually. Y'all know how I get. I'm not talking about no. When we go through shit and we got to build on our own, hell yeah, you need that self-pride, because that's what we use to build up. And once we get there, we just got to remind ourselves, once we build ourselves, to remember the goal was to get 2 and then multiply. Until we learn how to work with each other, man and woman, then we ain't gonna never be able to work with family, because it starts with mom and dad in that house. But then each mom and dad got a mom and dad. And if those 2 parents can't get it together and they got mom and dads, so if 2 people can't get along in a household, in a relationship, how the fuck is a family of 12, 30, 40, 50 gonna get it? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm speaking spiritually. I think it's crazy because women, when I say, and I'm not saying all, but women want to be catered to. And they want people to do shit for them. But it's a culture where it's like, a man's supposed to do this shit. And if a man don't do it, then he's not a man, but we don't hear these same principles. The goal is to be 2, right? And that's the reason why I walk around. And even though at my age, I be so much more mature than a lot of people, because even though, listen, I know a lot of niggas that's 40, 50, 60, them niggas little boys. You feel me? Just because a man age don't make his maturity, he a little boy. But once he grew, let's say a young man grew up, his whole life he see like, you better have money if you want women to love you. You better have this, you want women to love you. You better have a nice car, you right? And then when he grow up, he gonna base his reality off that money. But he knows since a little boy that, yo, they fuck with me because of my money. So when he get older, see, I try to get game because I got so many brothers and sisters. Look, that's what I tell my daughter. I'm not telling you not to want a man that can provide for you. But most of the time, invest in a man, y'all can build your castle together. Don't be looking for a man that already got a castle, because if he got castles, he can build you a castle and 4 other women. Because he understands that money is the root. See, that's what makes men with money such an issue, because once a man establishes himself and get the money, and he does this on his own, and then he go to the women and he say, now remind you, before he got there, he watched a lot of these same women. He watched, you know what I'm saying? Not just the women he was dating. We talk about his mom, his sisters, and them judging. Let me tell you a powerful story my bro told me. And I ain't gonna say no names. It was powerful yesterday. He's from out of state, he pulled up on me, he told me a story. He said, bro, I gotta tell you this story. He said, look, bro. He said, these people I know, he said, this dude I know, like, he couldn't work for the last like 10 years. He got hurt, but he was fucked up, right? Deep story. He said, so the whole time, you know, the people around him, his lady, the family, they were talking about him like a dog. He ain't have. And he was just waiting for, you know, certain shit to come through, like the money that he kept saying he was gonna get. So after like 10 something years or 8 years, it got to the point where everybody kind of started laughing at him, joking at him, like treating him like this. So his lady, his wife, gets frustrated and puts the nigga out like a week ago, or like last month. 4 days after she put him out, he got money. He got a bunch of money back. It finally came. Sometimes nature, God, life will stop you and your blessings from growing because you're around people. That's something that I had to learn. Sometimes we stay still because our blessings is for us, and the people around us, they karma is included with yours. So sometimes when I heard that story, it was powerful because it's saying like, if you just had more faith for 7 days, shit would have been different. And my bro was like, he told his people, like, yo, 7 days, if you just waited 7 days, y'all be lit. Now bro doing big. But the point of the story was all them years, and respectfully, his wife, whoever has the right to be frustrated. But if we understand the full goal of what a marriage or a relationship is, a real relationship, like the good, bad, and different, you know what I mean? We don't talk about these real conversations, like for real. Like, I've been through shit in this last year that kind of fucked me up, but it just made me more mature at the end of the day. Yo, you don't own her. You feel me? And she don't own you. And even when y'all married, y'all don't. We can't have a real, or married or single or whatever. I'm just saying, we have to be able to communicate. We can't be in the society that we in. My issue as a man at the end of the day, I be looking crazy because I be a little bit too mature. It's like, okay, I get all of this shit, but all I'm asking, only thing I ever asked for in women and my homeboys, accountability. Nothing wrong with that woman taking her man out there and blindfold him. But it always get me. And it's not the post for my bro, because that was, you feel me? We all got I want to say, Rick, you got the right to your opinions, and I respect it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, bro, it just how I see it on a deeper level, right? The post was nothing wrong with it, because, you know what I'm saying? It was how you felt. But on a deeper level, it bothered me spiritually. You know me, bro, so you know I get that feeling. And it'd be like, I got to speak on this. But the goal is to always be two. But we tend to forget that we wasn't taught the rules. See, the rules got broken like 70 years ago. The rules was broken after they killed Malcolm and them. They forgot to pass down. Grandma and them tried to pass it down, but our mothers was a generation who was a generation, a lot of them was like, fuck these niggas. I don't need no man. Welfare ain't that old, bro. It was invented in the mid 1900s. Like 1950, 60, something like that. That shit, it ain't that old, is what I'm saying. It might be a little older than that, but it ain't that old. And we sit around and I see it though. And I say, that's why I say, as men, I know a lot of men, when I talk to black men, a lot of men, very few got pride and got good hearts and feel like they somebody without that dollar in their pocket. And if I see you when niggas down, when I see a lot of men, I'm just speaking in general, and I've been there, like feeling like that when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But I also always had a certain resilience to me that was like, you know, you gotta have some type of self-love for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be real with yourself. Like, let me give you an example. It's so many fake niggas and men, because men have already, a lot of men, let me say it this way, to all my women, the same way how you was young and you was in love and you felt your first love, he might have been older than y'all. A lot of y'all, well, y'all first nigga was older than y'all, so he was playing with y'all. He didn't really take y'all as serious. And then he fucked you over. You wore that hurt forever. And then it led to other shit, right? And other shit. Well, y'all need to realize that men go through the same shit. It ain't like the men aren't just naturally come out at 18, 19 and dog girls for their first existence. No. A lot of time when you listen to men sit down, you would find out that like, yo, they dated a girl, she was 19, he was 19. But that was when she was 19, she might have been in a relationship with a 25-year-old from the time she was 16. So she in love with this nigga crazy and he ain't taking it serious. He young or whatever, he running the streets. He know that she ain't paying attention. She don't know the life. So that's why I do understand as I get older. A lot of times they would tell you, like when I talk to old men that got knowledge, ancient men, they tell me, like, foreigners, they say, let me tell you why America's a problem. The ancestors, it was a reason why they put 30-year-old, 40-year-old men with 20-year-old women, because them 20-year-old women, if they in love with them, they're more enticed. They're looking up to this man as a man. He has mature, right? And then they taught our women wrong. Successful men, even white men, most stable men are stable in their 30s, early to mid 30s, right? And most men that are millionaires don't get rich until they're 50. So the fact that they've convinced our women that your men are worth nothing because of their money value, that's not black man's game. It doesn't feel natural to us, you know, and I know it. I'm not blaming anybody. When I went on this journey 10 years ago, I've seen it all. Like if I could show you, that's when y'all listen to me, if I could show y'all everything, I know for a fact if people seen what I saw. My mom told me one day, she said, yo, for what you've seen and been through, I could understand it. So I thought by now you would have a problem with women. I don't have a problem with women because I understand that this is deeper than, oh, just a woman or black girl doing it. This shit is psychological on a spiritual level. Right? And that's why I always dug. Remember what I told you earlier, what they said in that. Remember, they said, we reverse nature. When we first met them, the black man and the black woman, she clinged to him like he was God. But we beat nature. And now she cleans our system. They said, and they knew it would work. They knew it would work because they said, when we create a system, nature said we get up and go hunt for our food, get our fruit, whatever we gonna do, come home, build our shit. And depending on what man and woman and them kids could build together and build, that's your civilization. Or the families of people, depending on the work y'all put in, right? But in a society where a lot of people are getting up and going to work, right? Because that's what people gotta do. It takes out the natural state of where our people come from. We natural people, right? So then our worth becomes about the money that we're making and getting from somebody else, because, and this is what they said, once they put a financial system in place, the women are gonna cling to the system because that's who they depend on, not the men. See, if we go to war and America crashes and everybody defend, right now, if all the jobs close, China attack America, I give it a year, black women be all over black men again, because they're gonna need the protection. That just to show you the mindset of America. Right now, if everything failed and there was no more government and da-da-da, everybody and their mama gonna be running to black men. Them same niggas that they looked at as wild in the streets. Because see, some of that wild shit that we see in our families come back from generations. When they were niggas hanging our grandmothers and doing wild shit, right? We forgot the struggle. The black family made it through slavery, not because they didn't have no money. So she couldn't look at him for what he didn't have, because neither one of them had. But what was developed is in Willie Lynch's letter. See, that Willie Lynch letter, I played it the other day, it's so much deeper. That shit long. And he points to the black women as well. And Willie Lynch says, you know, take her, when you get her by herself, see how much she's willing to do for you. And if she's not willing to do anything, then she still is in love with who nature designed for her. So he said, that's when you whip her, you break her will, you take it from her, you rape her, but you don't kill her. You can't kill her, because everybody knows that the black woman is the most is the most important piece of earth for civilization, for us living, and for society being ran, because black women work harder and hold America up. It's real shit. But Willie Lynch made a point. In his letter, he said, why do you think we compare niggas to horses? And that's in Willie Lynch's letter. Even though they got the book about it, and Willie Lynch, he broke it down. He said, listen, you got to create separation. If you got the old fighting the young, they'll never work together, so you ain't got to worry about them two. He said, you got to take the women and turn them against the men, because if they can't coexist and work together, they never can work together to uprise and do this shit. But when I see all of this that I'm seeing online, I watch a lot of these posts, that shit ain't funny. And I be one to speak about this shit, because I could give two shits. I'm a real nigga. I see a lot of posts where women be like, show me a nigga who got his own crib, blah, blah, and I be wanting to go out there and say, show me a group of women who got their own crib, own cars, own house, who ain't never had food stamps, child support, or nothing. I'm not knocking it, but these are all the things that a lot of times men can get their food stamps at time, but it's nothing like the money that they would get if they had children, like women. Men get taxes, and if they on child support, that shit get taken if they ain't paying, which is on him, but they can't. Why doesn't the government make it to where if the father is paying child support, well, I know they say, well, you could probably write it off and get some of it back if you understand, if you got businesses. But it should be, if both parents are there, and both parents, whether they together or not, if they both can legally prove that they take care of this child, why can't both of them get the credit? Because it was designed to make you fight your nigga for it. Because if both y'all gave birth, now if the man ain't doing nothing, then the woman could file, but why not, even if you're not with her, right? Because remember, a lot of babies being born not in marriage. So if it was about marriage, then you should only give this to married people then, if you're going to do that. You know what I mean? That's why I just think they'd be crazy, and I think that we do got to learn and grow as people and stop. We have to teach our women that, yeah, you should. I teach my daughter that, yeah, you should want to take him out on a date, surprise him. You know what I'm saying? Do that for him, because this is the secret of life, and y'all don't have to agree with me. I don't think women know. Once you convince a man and you make him feel like, especially not no fuck nigga, I'm talking about a real nigga, if you got a real nigga or a good dude, once you do certain things for him and he appreciates it, you'll put him on such a high rush that he can't even see the rest of them women, and he's gonna do the things that he wouldn't do for no other woman, because he knows the secret is, okay, I know she gonna go hard for me, and I know how hard she gonna go for me. So now that's gonna make me, you feel me? Because everybody wanna act like niggas got this and women got this over here because of the lack of trusting, right? Or problems and the lack of being able to communicate, right? But I think that's why I say it's just crazy, because I know that we so focused on the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? The first thing y'all need to do, cut your fucking TVs off. I tell women to stop watching TV. Because that shit, your brain is connected to the eye, the eye's connected to the brain. So every time that shit is delusional, love and hip hop, love basketball wives, when that shit came out, it changed the dynamic of how women look at life. And men, you know, we got the rap videos, the thug shit, the music, you know what I'm saying? The movies and all that shit. Niggas live in fantasies and shit. And at the end of the day, we not growing. We not, you know what I'm saying? So I just hope that I could, whatever I said today, that it makes sense to y'all, because on a deeper level, we're supposed to be focusing on the team, right? And the fact of the matter that, and I don't knock women, because I understand, I talk to thousands of women. I get it. You started and you had kids, you wanted to have a team, but a lot of times, sometimes that man, he was on his bullshit. So then you tried it again. You got another child. Y'all together 2, 3 years, 4 years. It don't work. I get that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at women who got multiple kids or something like that. I look at the characteristics of what's going on with the person. But we all gotta understand that we have become so single cell, like, yo, I built me, da-da-da-da-da-da, like, cool. But just like in music, like, nigga, the way I built my shit was because I had to, because I couldn't trust people. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just now, I'm talking about for the last 17 years. Every time I go forward, we working together, then the shit just don't work. I'm gonna keep going, boom, boom, boom. I learned a long time ago that men don't have faith in their motherfucking self. And I'm a man, I be around my homeboys and I be irritated with them, so I know how women feel. But at the same time, our women gotta stop thinking too, because I'm not gonna hold it, because niggas be tripping. You know I don't never hold no punches. And I understand that the weight been on your shoulders and that you feel like this and you getting frustrated. Like the story I told earlier, that girl held it down for years and then she put him out and he got bands. And now she's sitting thinking like, fuck. Because at the end of the day, is that who told you that the man was a provider? The European niggas. Go do that's why I be talking history to y'all like that. Go read some books. The black woman has always been the head of household, nigga. How a man running shit, we don't get life. You know what I mean? It's okay. I understand why black women, they get niggas. I ain't submitting to no nigga. Because in your body, you know that you gave birth you give birth to men. So you be like, what make, no, but that ancient system of women submitting to men, it lasted so long because it was the system that worked the best. You know what I'm saying? Man's job is to go out here and dominate. So no, we don't understand, and they should teach y'all this. That's why they don't give a fuck about us. They want y'all to be foul-mouthed. See, even T.D. Jakes said recently, you're not applauded in America for being nice, sweet, submissive. You're applauded as black women for being rude, disrespectful, loud-mouthed, sexual. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to program you that way so that when you work in their corporations, they can fuck you. So that they can, right? Everybody, every man of every other race of human on planet knows that the black woman love money. So they're gonna use that because even if they're not attracted, they like, well, look, you mess with, listen, you gonna need you. I know he can't do what you need to do. But women have always been the heads, and I want y'all to understand what I mean spiritually. I'm not saying y'all wrong. I'm not saying that these men shouldn't help y'all, but we need y'all motherfucking help, yo. I'm pleading with y'all this morning. Straight up. The only way that we can get out this shit is that we need our women as blockers, and we need to stop looking at this shit, nigga. We need blockers. The only people that can block for black men is black women. They the only blockers we got left. And it's getting to the point where they ain't blocking no more, so we just vulnerable. Once they convince y'all that we nothing, once y'all go public like, fuck a man, they gonna start hanging us on trees. Y'all don't know the history. In North Carolina was called, I think, the tree of niggas. It was called like it was the state of the tree of niggas, right? There was a road, like when you come in through South America, it was like 100 miles straight where every tree branch had a nigga hanging from trees on every tree branch. It was called the walk. What was it called? The walk of freedom, because they was all runaway slaves, and it was miles long. Every tree, every branch had somebody hanging, corpse, rotting birds eating their eyes out. Niggas be telling me I'm tripping, bro. You too deep. You think too much. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta want better, and that's why I say I understand. I see a lot of black women as queens, and right, and it's just like it's okay. We all come from that shit and come from trauma, but once we, like my homeboy Rick told me, when you start educating yourself and putting information in your mind, that shit correct itself. The information gonna organize itself. That's why I say to know more. The more, too much is known, much is required. Because once you know certain things and start to be aware of certain things, then you have a responsibility and you can't be the same person. So now when I was chilling out on the block with niggas 30, 40 deep, you know what I'm saying? When I got older, that shit feel kind of weird to me. Not that niggas on the corner, but the fact that I know that this shit is nothing of creation that's gonna do anything positive. So I just hope that what I'm saying makes sense. But we definitely gotta be protecting. And then women, they need their black men as blockers, right? Because I want y'all to remember, even if you take every dollar for a man, he's still valuable, even a woman, right? Because rather either one, but I'm just using, because we can parallel it. Either one, right? Regardless if your partner got $1 in his pocket at the moment, he or she, do they not still offer mother or fatherhood? Do they not still offer safety and protection? Do they not still offer direction for the children? Do they still not, right? Because the one thing that I don't knock black women, but black women shouldn't be raising children alone. So that's why the statistics that came out 2 months ago said that black women led the world in kids going to prison and murder. And it's not to discredit y'all, just saying it's too much love. When y'all got sons in Africa, they take the sons away from their mother at 12 because at that point, mom's emotions start to manipulate her sons. So when women see these men, these niggas act like bitches, they emotional. Nigga, we was raised by y'all. Most of us, like, you know what I'm saying? I had my father later, but a lot of times, a lot of black men raised by their mothers and with their sisters. So we emotionally like women. You feel me? So then when we get older, then women call us, "Are you a weak ass nigga?" Our mama and them told us this the type of nigga that they world wanted. We watch TV. Oh, you feel me? So I'm looked at it as too independent, but I swear I don't walk around like I don't need a man. No, I feel you. But I understand being independent sometimes came by force because we couldn't find partnerships, right? Or the bullshit we went through, or that's what we have to do because we can't even depend on our own fucking family sometimes. You feel me? So being independent comes from stress, division, separation. There is no independency unless there's in order to be independent, there has to be something unnatural because nothing in nature is independent. The birds pollinate, the bees and everything go land on flowers and then just their body got it, they pollinate. The worms in the earth and everything work together, but people feel like we can be independent. To be independent is opposite of progression. But we have to be independent and live in a state of stress, dysfunction, delusion. You know what I'm saying? And then I also say, why do y'all think women live longer than men? It ain't just because the men are so bad all the time or don't help. Help there, you know, streets, drinking, shit like that, but stress. You know what I mean? We know as men that the number one thing we offer women is direction. The number one thing I offer, and I say as men, is direction. Even though Farrakhan, and I'm gonna leave my statement with this, survival, right? That's what the book said. The book said when you take a woman out her natural instinct, she goes into survival mode. Survival mode is fight or flight. That's not natural. That's when the body is in a state of stress. And in survival mode, independency, kids being put in front of the family structure. This all written in this book 100-something years ago. And look at what it's doing. Survival mode is what women are in. But the reason why you're in it is because you're in a society that forces you to have to depend on something you make from going to their slave and plantations to pay them back, to pay your rent so that you can just go to sleep for 5 hours to go back and work for them. And we don't realize it. So we even look at how this double works. So that niggas get jobs and they be like, shit, I got a good job. Look at these bum ass niggas. Listen, the real niggas is the niggas who outside that had to create their jobs, who got to get it out the mud, right? Because it's not to take away from people, but people with jobs look down on people without jobs or people that hustle but it's a survival. Most of the women I know that's by themselves, they've been in survival mode for 30, 40 years. They by the time they got older and got stable, they know how to cut the shit off. Men too. Men get older. They done been 40 years old. They got money now. And they done already got dogged and treated, couldn't raise their kids or whatever the case. So by the time they get older, they like, fuck it, I'm a pimp. I'm not about to marry or do none of this shit and split half with some people that weren't willing to do half with me. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be 50-50, regardless at the end of the day. Remember, if as a woman, you grinding, you going to work, you ambitious, you want to go do something, go do it. But you either going to depend on your mama or somebody else to do your job. Right? So remember, as a woman by yourself or as a man, you got to go to work. And with women, you got the kids. Right? So now, you by yourself, you working, busting your ass. The kids running the house, doing what they want to do, getting in trouble and shit, not paying attention. They, you know, as boys, we scared of our mothers, some of us, but not like the same as our fathers. It happens all the time. I see little boys, they'll do shit when they mama home, but when they father there, or when a man, their uncle or their grandfather's there, they don't do the same shit. Right? But then when men try to be men to other little boys, women say, you being too aggressive. You need to mind your business. When a woman is arguing with her daughter, unless she really doing too much, because you know as daddy, where like she taking it too far, then you interject. But you still got to let her be a woman and break down, because she lived life as a woman, so she know what she looking at. And as women, these boys are soft, they sensitive. They little soft-ass niggas. They not getting what they supposed to get. See, y'all have daughters and y'all building these girls up. Girl, you better do this, da-da-da, because they seeing da-da-da-da-da, but you building them to be strong. Niggas don't need muscles. You feel me? And I'm going to say this before I get on the phone. Listen, I like a strong woman, but you got to know when to let a man be a man just like a man got to know how to let a woman be a woman. But if I wanted a masculine woman, nigga, I'd be gay, nigga. What the fuck do I need a... You feel me? As a man, I don't want no masculine ass woman. If you listen, I understand the stress, right? And what I be feeling like is that it's a lot of women be killing the society, they busting their ass. But then the stress levels that come with being successful in work, I started asking myself, damn, can y'all deal with it? So remember, when all the attitudes, popping eyes, smacking fingers, remember what I said. I'm telling you, as a man, I tell any woman, I don't need that disrespect, nigga. If I wanted to deal with all that goddamn masculine energy, I'd be a faggot, nigga. Yeah.